Well, I didn't think I was going to do another video before I left, but I actually can't not. This is an amazing ending to my little retreat. So I, a while ago, subscribed to a thing called Hello Writer. So I stopped them because I was getting behind on them. This is what I do. And every month they sent me a little envelope. I'll show you here. In the bigger envelope, there's two little ones. This one's called main course. There's an appetizer one in there too, and a piece of chocolate, which usually didn't taste very good. It's kind of random. Anyway, the appetizer one from this envelope I had done before, but I had never done the main course. So it was sealed. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do that before I leave. And it's like 11:51 right now. I have to check out at noon, so I have 9 minutes. So the main course for this week, that month's of envelopes. So I don't even know what month this was, but it was designed for me to do today. I just know it now. It's a longer write in the main course. The appetizer is just a short kind of setting the stage kind of one. This one is work from a piece of art. So you could pick any kind of art, but if nothing was coming to your mind, to look at Google Color Explorer and scroll until one jumps out. Well, I had never used that site before, so I went on my computer, searched up Google Color Explorer, and then she says, once you've found it, list 15 details that catch your attention, then use one of them as your starting point to write, when I look at this image, I see blank. And this is a fancy name called ekphrasis. I'm writing an ekphrastic poem or piece of prose. So I'm looking through. I see all these pictures. It automatically went to the green color of art pictures, like kind of shades of green, which I like. And so I saw one that had a church steeple that was up in some branches. So I thought, oh, I don't know. It's the only one that jumped out of my mind was bold colors. So I went down a little bit. Everything else is kind of muted colors. And this is the one that jumped out at me. So I clicked on it. I'm going to show it to you here. Maybe. And it is called Indian Church by Emily Carr, 1929. Just focus on it for a second there. There. So, wow. There was no bottom part. When I chose the picture, once I clicked on it, the whole picture opened up. There are so many things about this picture that are what I needed to see at the end of this time here. Oh, I just saw something else too. Yeah, that's so beautiful. Anyway, the kinds of things I wrote about this picture, well, I just wanted to share about it. You know, it's such a plain church. It's a very unadorned church. And I've seen a lot of prairie churches, and they're usually not this unadorned. Some of them are really fancy if they're from some Orthodox. There's one called a Doukhobor, something nearby where I grew up. Super fancy, like gold plated, everything everywhere. This church is a box, kind of a white box with a big steeple and a little cross at the top. When you open the whole picture up, there's a lot of crosses behind the church, and it's called Indian Church, which, you know, makes me think it was built for Indigenous people or by Indigenous people, I don't know, who had been evangelized, which kind of fits in what I was just talking about in my last little talk, whatever this is, about the church and evangelism. And, you know, it can seem like a good-hearted thing, but if anything has shown us how, what's the word? Not dangerous. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of the word right now, and the text just came and distracted me. But to look at some of the long-reaching things about some of the dangers, maybe that is a word, of evangelism in the ways that we've done it in our culture. Wow. The white little graves beside a residential school have to be it, you know. I don't have any, I don't know, you might know that my sister was adopted from an Indigenous setting, probably part of the 60s scoop, but it was in the 70s. We didn't know, my parents didn't know, I don't think, some of the issues they were participating in by adopting her, and it's really complex, but she's dearly loved. But I have great compassion for people like her who were taken from their birth culture and raised in a white Christian family. Like, oh my word. I'm glad she's not a grave beside a school or a church, but it hits close to my heart because of that reason, you know, and the Indigenous blood in my nephews and niece. And this picture has big, wide branches, and there's things behind watching, or a hidden world behind. Churches, hidden worlds behind a church, man. That's kind of stuff I've been talking about this weekend. If you've been in a church for a while, you know, a church culture is, wow, it's fraught. It is fraught with difficulties, with failures, with just looking at this picture, and just with deceit, and with a kind of structure set up for people to hide who they are. Yeah. You know, like leaders to hide that they're struggling with sexual, you know, things that are unwanted sexual thoughts or behaviors, hiding things, hurting people, and not this culture of meeting us where we are, loving each other, even in hard things, thinking what love means. Like, I think Jesus wanted to turn the kingdom upside down. He didn't want us to be in this build a white box for tell people they have to go to in the middle of the Indigenous prairie. I don't know if this picture's from the prairies. There's stuff I don't know on this picture. I don't know what the brown thing is in the corner, and looks like some sort of totem sort of looking through the trees at the little church. It doesn't feel safe. There's not safety in that church building. Some of the things I wrote about were, I see the ways churches hold secrets, right? It seems like hope standing tall and white among the colors of nature, but it's a man-made building. It's a man-made building. The small crosses behind are achingly calling out. I couldn't help anything then. I couldn't, but I can now, or at least I can refrain from complicity by aligning myself on the side of love and justice. Not blame necessarily, but humble acknowledgement and an open heart to be part of making things right. The church looks plain, but others deserve our best. Was there a church down the road that was fancy like the Duke of Boris? I'm just reading what I wrote now. There are things looking in the background of this picture, things I don't understand or even see, but you can feel them looking through the trees. To take away the safeguards from these people, for these children, it was criminal. I have no question about aligning myself with the children, no question. Also tearing down the ways that this could have happened. You know, there's still, if you're part of church culture, you know, there's still things that show us how that happened. It's not hard to imagine. It's hard for me to see how something like Donald Trump could have the adoration and support of Christian people in the States. I'm not from there. I don't totally get it. It's hard for me to see how that happened, but it is not hard for me to see how this great tragedy for children, Indigenous children, happened from church people. It's not far. It's from, you know, power structures, from the kind of views on evangelizing, views on making other people think like us, trying to save others. So heavy. I didn't expect this to be the end of my time here, but it was a perfect picture for me to pick from. This little steeple opened up to be exactly what I needed to see. So I just wanted to share some of my thoughts about that, and thank you again for sticking with me if you actually watched this, if I upload it anywhere. But amazing weekend and a great way to end. Partly because me picking a random, quote, random picture Makes me feel really seen, that it wasn't random. It was things that are on my heart, things that are from where I'm from. I didn't even know that it was an Indigenous church, Indian church, or that it was a Canadian artist, nothing. So yeah, makes me feel seen, heard, loved, yeah, grateful. All right, now I'm really signing off. Gonna go pack up my car. All right, bye.